Hi, I'm Dr. Anasuya Jegathevi Jegathesan. I'm from Help University, Malaysia. It's a private university. I'm a counseling psychologist, and I work as a lecturer, I work as a counselor, I do private counseling, I work with NGOs, we do all kinds of things in a developing nation. Okay, as a counselor, I got involved in counseling. I was originally in business, and I discovered I wasn't very good at, getting money out of people. I was better at helping people. So I switched from business and I started to go into counseling. Now, while I was doing counseling, just before I got into counseling, my mother passed away. She passed away when I was 22, and that was she passed away from a brain aneurysm. We were laughing and talking in the morning, and in the afternoon, she literally dropped dead. Yeah, so that was a shock to the whole family, and I was only 22 at the time, and I had younger brothers, younger sisters, and an older brother. So from there, I got more involved in counseling after that. And I was a carer for my grandmother for a while, for 5 years, as she slowly died, and she died in my arms. And then, just when I was finishing my master's in counseling, my younger brother committed suicide. And that was very hard. In an Asian country, there's a lot of stigma attached to it. There's a lot of different things attached to it. But he committed suicide. He also had, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. There were lots of things going on. You have to work with it and get over it, or work through it, and you can't really get over something like that. So moving forward, after I healed from my own grief, I went into grief work seriously. I do a lot of research in grief. I work with people in grief because I've had a spectrum of experience in grief, and death and loss, suicide, hard loss. Being a carer is not something people are comfortable talking about, especially in developing nations, in Asian countries. There's a lot of stigma attached to it. There's a lot of pain attached to it, and and even counselors are scared of the pain. There's nothing to be scared of. It's a journey to healing. So as part of what I did, when I did a lot of research on grief, it's how do you talk to people about their grief? How do you help people when they go through complicated grief or other forms of grief? So what I did was I did a lot of research in how people went through grief. What was their journey? How did they recover? And what I found is that people used a lot of metaphors. Words did not really capture the pain or the healing of what they went through. But pictures seem to be more universal in that. So I did a lot of research, ended up working with over 16 photographers, and came up with a set of therapy cards, which I use in therapy. And I call it, appropriately, I thought it was appropriate, Journeys Through Life. Love, laughter, loss, and life. Three major categories. It's cards which can be used in various ways, and I've used them in therapy, I've used them in group therapy. And so that's what I've been doing in terms of this work. How I got involved with Glasser and choice theory was from actually Corey and Corey. You all may know he's the textbook writer for one of the main textbooks that we use in Malaysia to teach counseling is Corey's textbook on counseling. And what happened was that when I read Glasser's work, it made the most sense. So from reading Glasser's work, I read some of his books, including Schools Without Failure, including Choice Theory, and I went, okay, this seems to work for me. So for many years, I practiced counseling and therapy using the works from the books. I didn't start getting involved in actual training in reality therapy. Number one, because I'm in Malaysia and I was doing a lot of other things. And number two was because I didn't know who the trainers were. And we were very lucky to have Ivan Honey come down to Malaysia to present the Doug Dragster program. At that point at time it was the Cars Arus program. He presented the Cars Arus program, and he indicated that he was a senior instructor. And I went, what's that? And he said he was from the William Glasser Institute and he's a senior instructor. And I went, oh, okay. So could we run a program in Malaysia? And we'd run it with the support of the university. And he went, yeah, sure, okay. So I started organizing it, and the first time, this was 2 years ago, so that's 2012, I think, yes. I'm very bad with years, so it's 2012. And what happened was we said that, okay, we're going to run a program, and I put it out there and I said, look, we have this We're running the basic program in Malaysia. It's open to everybody. Would you all like to join? Send your names in. And we have space for 14 people in each set. And guess what? I had about 20 people asking for the training. So instead of one set, Ivan Honey came down and did 2 sets for us. And I promised everybody in the 2 sets that if anybody, those who wanted to, we will take them from basic to certification in that 18 months that we are allowed to take the progress. And that's what I did. So we went from basic and we got certified last year. We got certified in April. And yeah, that's our story. And after that, the group that got certified set up the Reality Therapy William Glasser Institute of Malaysia, which is the first one that's in Malaysia. So the group of us that got certified and continued, we are the ones that did it. And now we're going for faculty. So wish us luck. Good. On top of everything else, we had in April in 2014, MH370. That is the Boeing 777 that disappeared. And now I do believe it's going on some 120 odd days. And there's still no sign of the plane. I had the privilege and the honor of doing 100 hours, logged hours, more than 100 logged hours, in 2 sites, which is the Everly Hotel, Kuala Lumpur, and the Bangi Hotel in Putrajaya. These are 2 sites which housed the next of kin, NOKs, as well as from Malaysia as well as China. So we did counseling work, therapy work, not just for the next of kin, but also for the MAS staff which were involved in it. As you can imagine, this was something which overwhelmed everybody. I honestly can tell you we did not know what we were doing, and it was a very hard time because you can come in, you can talk to somebody, and you can't tell them what they most want to hear. You can't give them any information. We still can't. We've almost run out of things to say in the fact that we are so helpless to support them in what they really want, which is information. And so all we can do is, work with the quality world, work with the other ones, the other pictures in their quality world, and try to strengthen those pictures in the face of the horrendous loss that they're experiencing. We have families who are bickering with each other because of various issues. Different demands from each family member causes a lot of stress within the system. If you're a MAS staff, you've got disenfranchised and ambiguous loss because you're the bad guys. Malaysians are the bad guys in this, and so our loss is sometimes, it's hard to experience your loss when you have to justify to everybody else how we really don't know. We are not doing anything wrong. We just don't know. So it's a complicated situation. And going in as therapists and counselors in this situation, I do believe we made a lot of mistakes. I do believe we did a lot of good work. I hope we helped. It was an amazing experience. It was a hard experience. We did our best, and all I can say is I have no idea whether our best was enough, but I know we helped a few people, and I'll take that. I'll take the fact that we helped a few people. It's not something I wish on anybody, but next time at least I know I'll be more prepared if something similar happens again. God willing, it doesn't happen again. Thank you.